Hey guys, what's going on? Darren here, and welcome back to the F1 22 My Team Career Mode. And this time, we're at Budapest for the Hungarian Grand Prix. If you haven't checked out last round, go back, go check it out. The Red Bull Ring for the Austrian Grand Prix was a fantastic episode. Qualifying was a bit rough, but we had a brilliant sprint race and an epic Grand Prix. A huge fight with Daniel Ricciardo. That was pretty much a whole race long fight with Ricciardo. It's definitely worth going back and checking out. Also, at the end of the episode, as you can see, we signed Alain Prost to the team. Prost joined Renault Pulse Motorsports because we couldn't deal with Théo Pourchaire's poor results anymore. And we brought Alain Prost on board to hopefully push us a little bit further towards the top of F1. Not only that, but also we moved up to be the fourth fastest car in Formula 1. As you can see on the performance index, we moved ahead of McLaren, whose development has stalled a little bit. And for Lando Norris, who is still fighting for this world championship, it's not good that his team has stalled in development. It'll be interesting to see if McLaren can do anything about it in the second half of this season. Now anyway, we're going to get straight into qualifying for the Hungarian Grand Prix. Now, last season in qualifying, we did a 1:20.958. I have a feeling we're going to beat that lap time this year. In fact, I'm pretty sure our first lap we already did beat it. I just haven't got the previous lap up, so I don't really know what it was off the top of my head. But I'm pretty certain it was faster than a 1:20.958, just to show how much this Renault Pulse Motorsport car has improved from Season 1. But you can see currently in this qualifying lap, we're actually a 10th down on our previous lap. So we did a decent first sector first time around, but we kind of struggled this time around. You can see now as we get into the very twisty section, we are starting to gain some time. We've gone from a 10th down to a 10th up. Although that being said, we then run a little bit wide and we end up a 10th down. But we do get a better exit from there, and now we're 2/10 up on our previous lap. And now the question is will that be enough for us to get through to qualifying 2? We moved down to 20th place. We've got to improve from there, given where we were at Silverstone and also where we were at the end of the Austrian Grand Prix. Here we go now, we go round the final corner. It's only a 300th improvement. It's a 1:18.6, so it's over 2 seconds faster than last season, but it's only good enough for 20th place.
Welcome to Budapest once again for another round of Formula 1 action. Historically, a good race for first-time victories, with Button, Hill, Alonso and Heikki Kovalainen all reaching the top step of the podium for the very first time right here. 14 corners then for our drivers to navigate at the 2.7-mile Hungaroring today. It's 6 lefts and 8 rights around a lap here, with average speeds in the region of 120 miles per hour. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position, edging out Lando Norris, who'll start from P2. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Sainz, Ricciardo, George Russell and Perez, Prost, Hamilton, Fernando Alonso and Kevin Magnussen, Ocon, Verstappen. They'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Alex Albon and Vettel, Joe, Schwartzman, Bennett and Lance Stroll, Gasly, Latifi, Tsunoda. They've taken a grid penalty, and Mick Schumacher. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today?
So the two championship protagonists, Lando Norris and Charles Leclerc, occupy the front row of the grid. What's going to happen here in Budapest? It's lights out and away we go. We get off to an okay start. We only lost 2 places, one to Stroll and one to Gasly, but we've got the inside for turn 1 and we get back past those guys and we get past the 2 Alfa Romeos and also Alexander Albon as well. So we move up to P14, so it's a good launch actually out of turn 1. Next up is going to be Esteban Ocon. Can we do him around the outside? No, we can't. We're a little bit too far back to try something like that. But we get a better exit from there, and now on the run to the fast left-hander. Are we going to go all the way around the outside of Ocon? Can we make it stick? We run very, very wide. But we did make it stick there. Ocon backed out, so we did get him. I don't know if it was off track technically or not, but we did get past Esteban Ocon, and that is us now up to P13 here in Budapest. So it's been a good start. And you can see Kevin Magnussen is holding up Sebastian Vettel. Vettel is on the soft compound tyres, so he is going to be looking to try and do something in these first few laps, but he needs to get past Kevin Magnussen as quickly as possible. But that lock-up's not going to help Vettel there. He locks up, and that holds me up as well. Yeah, that's not good for Vettel. It's not going to do his tyres any good either, locking up like that, especially on the first lap. When those softs have got so much grip in the early phases, you need to be using the most of it, not locking up and wasting some of that grip. Anyway, we go now to the end of lap 1, so it's P13 at the end of the first lap. Not a bad opening lap, if I do say so myself. But we do need to try and find a way to get past Sebastian Vettel and also Kevin Magnussen as quickly as we possibly can, because we do have good race pace. Qualifying pace was pretty terrible, but in the race, this Pulse Motorsports car is one of the fastest race cars out there. The reason for that is we have got good tyre wear upgrades on the car. Not only have we got good tyre wear upgrades, but we've also got a lot of ERS upgrades on the car as well. And those ERS upgrades mean that we can pretty much run in overtake quite a lot of each and every single lap. And because of that, we have fantastic race pace versus our qualifying pace. So it's going to be interesting to see what we can do in this Grand Prix, provided we can of course get past Vettel and Magnussen. We're still behind these guys as we go towards the end of the second lap, and it's not looking good for us if we can't get past these guys quickly. But we go down the inside on Sebastian Vettel. Can we make it stick? Vettel's going to hold it. He's got the inside line for the left-hander. He's going to hold the inside line. Is it going to be enough though? We're going to hold it around the outside. It turns to the inside for the final corner, and down the inside we go past Sebastian Vettel, and that is us now up to P12 as we go to the start of lap 4, and with DRS now being activated, we're going to go down the inside of Kevin Magnussen straight away down the inside. He tried to block us to the inside. We went even further to the inside, but through we go past Kevin Magnussen, and that is us now up to P11. And we go to lap 8, and this is where, as I was saying, the tyre wear upgrades are coming in strong for us, because the other guys are starting to run out of tyres. And with those guys running out of tyres, and us with having all the grip in the world, as you can see now, we're closing that gap up to cars like Max Verstappen. Okay, he's getting held up behind Alonso, but we are catching up to Max Verstappen in a Red Bull, which just shouldn't be happening. And we're going to go down the inside. Woohoo! That was a late move there past Max Verstappen. He just gave us the space. He left the door wide open, and we were able to just kick the door down and dive straight down the inside there to take the position. And next up is Fernando Alonso, and we're going to do the same thing to Fernando Alonso that we did to Max Verstappen. So through we go there past Fernando Alonso. Next up for us, it's our teammate Alain Prost, who's making his return to Formula 1, and it has to be said, he's having a fantastic return to racing. First race back, and Alain Prost already in the points, up in P8. He spent more time in the points than I think Théo Pourchaire did in a season and a half in that car. Anyway, as you can see, we're on lap 11. We've just been told by Mark that our DRS has failed. That means we're not going to have DRS for the next few laps, which means if we do want to find a way past Alain Prost, we've got to do it the old-fashioned way without any DRS. Now, last season in this race, our fastest lap in the Grand Prix was a 122.308, and as you can see, this season already, we've done a 120.4, and we're not even halfway through the race, so it's fair to say that the fastest lap from last season has been absolutely obliterated by us this season. The car has so much more downforce, so much more engine power, and also, of course, much more ERS available for us to use, and that means that we are able to go much faster in the Grand Prix, as I was saying before. So yeah, over 2 seconds almost faster than we were last season already here at Budapest. Anyways, you can see there we dove down the inside to get past Alain Prost, and that sees us now up to P8. And as we go towards the end of lap 15, as you can see now, we're closing up to the back of Sergio Perez in the Red Bull. And this is where, as I've been saying, our tyre wear upgrades are coming through for us, because as you can see, Perez there has a little snap of oversteer on the exit. He's struggling now for tyre grip. Us, on the other hand, We're going to go the long way around the outside of Sergio Perez, and we take the position, and that is us now up to P7 here in Budapest. We get past Perez, take P7, and next up for us will be Lewis Hamilton in the Mercedes, if we can of course close him up. But we go now to lap 24, so it's a long way into the future, and as you can see now, we are leading the Hungarian Grand Prix, and the reason for that is everyone else very quickly afterwards decided to dive into the pits to go on to a set of hard compound tyres. Us, on the other hand, we've stayed out for a very long time, and now there's only 11 laps left in this Grand Prix, and what we're going to do is we're going to go from the mediums to the soft compound tyres, and we're going to use the soft tyres to try and get a fastest lap in this Grand Prix. We're going to try and take it away from Charles Leclerc, and not only that, we're going to get that extra point, because we really could do with that extra point in this championship. So as I said before, our fastest lap last season was 122.3, I think I said. So we're going to absolutely obliterate that, and we're going to see just how much faster this car really is versus last season. So anyway, here we go. We exit the pits, and we're going to be in P11. So yeah, that's not great, but I think with our fresh soft compound tyres, we're very quickly going to get past the likes of Fernando Alonso, Sergio Perez, and maybe even Max Verstappen. So here we go then, lap 26. This is our fastest lap attempt in this Grand Prix. Here we go into turn 1. Look at how much speed we can carry there through turn 1. We just got so much grip on these soft tyres. And the gap between us and Alonso is currently 2.1 seconds. I wonder what it'll be by the end of the lap. I have a feeling it'll probably be about a second at the most. I have a feeling it's probably going to be less than a second. Anyway, we go purple in sector 1. And the gap between us and Alonso is already down to 1.6 seconds. So we've taken 4 tenths out of him already. We make a slight mistake there by getting on that inside curb. Probably underestimating just how much grip we actually have on these soft tyres. And that has actually cost us a couple of tenths versus Fernando Alonso. But very quickly we make that back up. And now it's less than 1.5 seconds on Fernando Alonso. Now 1.4 seconds. We go green at the end of sector 2. Are we going to get it under a second by the end of the lap? It's 1.1 currently. I don't know actually if we are going to get it below a second. I think Alonso's just got enough to keep us a second at bay. It's 1.0 right now. And here we go into the final corner. Actually, we do get it below 1 second. So we take over 1.3 seconds out of Fernando Alonso. And we set to 1:19.153. I don't think anyone's going to beat that in the ending of this Grand Prix. That's so much faster than what anyone else was able to do. And over 3 seconds faster than what we were able to do last season. So, yeah, that just shows how much this car's come alive since last season. With the extra downforce, this car has so much speed. And now look at us, we're all over the back of Fernando Alonso. And you know what? We might be able to get him before the DRS. Oh, look at that. Under braking there. The soft tyres versus the hards. We just have so much grip. And in the chicane, we go down the inside on Alonso. Just absolutely send it on him. And through we go past Fernando Alonso. And that is us now into the points in P10 in this Grand Prix. Next up for us is Sergio Perez. And we're going to go down the inside on Sergio Perez. Late braking. Through we go past Perez. And that is us now up to P9 here at Budapest. Next up for us is Max Verstappen, and we go towards the end of lap 30, and as you can see now, we're right there with Max Verstappen. Surely with the DRS, it's only going to be a matter of time before we blast past Max Verstappen and take P8 here at Budapest. Here we go now, DRS activated, ERS is enabled as well. Verstappen's going to go defensive, but we're going to go even more down the inside. And through we go past Max Verstappen, and that is us now up into P8 here at Budapest. Next up for us is once again, it's the teammate. It's Alain Prost once again, who's having a fantastic race. He's up in P7 currently, but P8 will be a very good finish for him on debut as well. It'll be more points, like I said, than Théo Pourchaire ever managed in our Pulse Motorsport car for a season and a half. Anyway, here we go now, lap 32. We're going to go down the inside on Prost. I struggled to say his name there. I almost said Pourchaire. False habit. Anyway, down the inside on Prost. And Prost didn't make it difficult for us, thankfully. He let us go straight down the inside. And through we go past Alain. and up to P7 in this Grand Prix. As we go now to the penultimate lap here in Budapest, we put a lap on Yuki Tsunoda. Poor guy managed to get lapped in a 50% race, and through we go past him. And now as we start the last lap of the Grand Prix, are we going to be able to get Lewis Hamilton? We're going to go down the inside. It's a very late move. That's from a long way away, but he gave us the room, and down the inside, through we go, past Lewis Hamilton. I have a feeling if Ricciardo wasn't there, we wouldn't have been able to get him, but we did get Hamilton, and it's P6 here in Budapest. What a very good result for us.
It's a performance to be proud of from our Hungarian Grand Prix winners. Natalie Pinkham, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
I think it was clear what the main contributing factor out of the track was: speed. It sounds like an awfully reductive statement, but fast cars win races, and we saw that today with our winner.
Ferrari are at it again. An excellent performance at today's Grand Prix, and they're certainly a team that know what they're doing out there.
So it's another victory for Ferrari, and it looks like to me, I think they've now overtaken Lando Norris in the Drivers' Championship. I think Charles Leclerc is back in the lead in the Drivers' Championship. We're going to find out very shortly, but it was a very good race for Ferrari. A 1-2 here in Budapest. That surely is going to signal that they are back in control of this championship, with Lando Norris finishing third. So it's another good result for him, despite the fact that the McLaren is now the 5th fastest car in F1. So anyway, as I said, Charles Leclerc wins the Hungarian Grand Prix from Carlos Sainz in 2nd place, Lando Norris is 3rd, Russell in 4th, Ricciardo 5th, we finish in 6th, Hamilton 7th, Prost a brilliant 8th on debut, Max Verstappen is 9th, and Sergio Perez rounds out the top 10 for Red Bull. And only one driver didn't make it to the finish line, and that was Lance Stroll. So in the drivers' standings now, yes, Charles Leclerc has retaken the lead of the Drivers' Championship from Lando Norris in 2nd place. We are up in 8th place still in the Drivers' Championship as well. And in the Constructors, Pulse Motorsports is still in 5th place in the Constructors. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video, and if you did, please do, of course, as always, comment, leave a like, and if you haven't already, of course, subscribe to the channel for more F1 content. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you again soon for the Belgian Grand Prix. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.